And that's huge. So I think if we see a comp like that again from Insomnia, we need to see Magi's cloaks. We need to see spirit robes. You know, upgrade the beads if you have to. If you're a carry, I mean, even the little things like that can end up paying off very quickly and keeping you alive in a key fight.
But not too surprised to see Insomnia, I feel like, look this strong. They played well the last time that we watched them. Insomnia, I feel like their team play is up there with some of the best of them on PS4 right now. They're going to try and keep that going, and some adjustments going to be necessary here from playing Ducks if they want to try and win in Game 2. Maybe those adjustments can happen here in the picks and bans, but it's not as if I feel like they lost the picks and ban phases really that badly. I don't think it was a bad pick and ban phase.
Well, the first pick Xing still stands out.
That is curious.
That was odd, and especially when you see the impact that it made, which was not very much, then I'm a little bit more critical of it ultimately. I think that we should see just a different prioritization of these top picks for playing Ducks. If that's a 5th pick Xing and then it doesn't do so well, oh well. You know, that's just kind of what we thought was good in that moment. There, I mean, take the Cerberus. If you really want a solo Guardian, take the Cerberus.
And by the way, you can 5th pick Xing, because no one's going to take that or ban it from you. It will be there.
Maybe PS4, they've been doing a lot of scrims,
maybe,
and Xing is coming out on top. You never know what's going on behind the scenes. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt in that, because if they aren't scrimming and they're not seeing Xing be a top pick, then I've got no explanation.
That's the best one I could think of. I like this, though. Athena coming in as that first pick with the Baron, the Chernobog, the Freya, the Zhonghui, all banned out. This does mean Naja still floating around out there somewhere, so I wouldn't mind seeing that paired up here with this Cerberus. But these are two much stronger first pick selections.
Yes, okay. Cerberus instead of the Xing. We're in a better spot already. Cerberus Agni. Great. Love it. I mean, TPC had one good snipe in particular. Wasn't really there for the majority of the other games because that Cerberus was just all over him. So now you give him something that's a little bit safer in general in the Agni, and it pairs beautifully with that Cerberus. We just saw how well it worked in the last one for Insomnia.
Yeah, and you take it away from Prima as well, who I think you're alluding to. That helps out too. Force him to prove he can do it on something different. But two, I think, of the best Guardians we have right now being selected here by Insomnia. Geb and Athena both feel very strong and at different times of the game. Geb can take a while to get there, but Athena, those taunts will be relevant right away.
This is scary already from Insomnia. They give VeganFatness. I assume that's where that Medusa is going. I hope that's where that Medusa is going. Back over to him. I assume this is going to be Athena in the solo lane with that Geb selection. That is so much frontline and so much peel and so much initiation. Playing Ducks are going to have a tough time, it feels like already.
They do have, though, again, a lot of control tools available to them. I think that's really what Susano does out of the jungle best. He does have great, I think, 100 to 0 potential. He can kind of lock you down long enough to where he can bring you down. But his ability in the team fight between Typhoon, between the pulls, being able to chase these targets, it's such a big boon out of your jungler to have all those tools available to you as well.
It really is. Susano's early game, not great, kind of like you were saying with Geb, but you get to that mid to late game, Susano is as good as it gets out of the jungle for sure, whether it is the displacement, the CC, or that kill potential and just that slippery nature, so hard to lock him down. I feel like Susano, on a good Susano player, can make that character feel unstoppable.
It really can. It feels like one of those picks that once he's chasing, there's not much you can do. As they're going to add a Xbalanque to the mix, so that's not a ton of pressure in that dual lane, especially if it is a Medusa that you're going to be going up against. Geb doesn't have much either, though, so if that's going to be the partner, maybe you'll be okay there. But late game, once again, if that Susano and the Xbalanque are in that mid to late game and they've got some items online, you wouldn't want to be on the other end.
No, that's definitely a lot of late game there in the dual lane. It's Ravana and Raijin will be the final two selections, and I like it too. This is, again, more control, more initiation, more follow-up, good long-range AoE, good single-target DPS. Like, this is a very well-rounded draft from Insomnia. They really seem to know exactly what they want and where. And
I'm a big fan of the Ravana Raijin pairing, especially like as an early mid-jungle combo. That's a ton of damage. I mean, Raiju, Percussive Storm, and you get like Prana Onslaught rooted. You're like, oh, I didn't realize I was just going to die here. I didn't realize I never got a chance to play. That's what it feels like.
And both of them have great mobility options to get away.
That's right.
Overhead kick or Mystic Rush, and then Thunder Crash. Tycho Drums is 1 million damage. Yeah, those two together are very tough to stop.
Well, who do you think is going to win this game here? Do you think playing Ducks can get it done, or Insomnia going to go ahead and close it out right here, right now in 2? We're about to find out here. Let's go ahead and move right into Game 2. And Ryan, we didn't get a chance. That last pick coming through is the Ares. And somehow, Ryan, I had a sense that the last pick Ares wasn't going where we thought it was. I somehow had a sense. Over into the solo lane for Comp. Last game, they first pick his selection with the Xing, also an odd solo pick. This game, they last pick it, the Ares for Comp. And no boot start this time. Even more aggressive than the Xing Tian is the Ares.
Let's see how it goes. That's what I'll say. This is unconventional. At least he can't get his flames interrupted by Geb knockup.
That's right. That's a nice matchup. And the chain to interrupt the rollout. Ares might body this Geb over here.
Yeah, I mean, you see so much Geb solo these days, and that it's you gotta find a way to counter it somehow.
Right. So he picked that Ares knowing it was gonna be Geb over here from OhMyJhox. So.
I mean, again, maybe in scrims we've been seeing a lot of Geb solo. Whatever it is, sure. I still don't think Ares is the pick to shut down Geb solo. Something tells me.
That's probably not it. There's aggression in the dual lane right away. TPC takes a ton of poke as well. KS Ray is have to run away from Kino and VeganFatness, who do force out the sprint and drop one of their own as well. Not quite able to find the kill, but at least able to push him back.
Goes for Guardian's Blessing this time around in the solo lane, which is a good idea because you can't clear the wave as Ares. So you want to make sure that you get that extra bit of gold and sustain from the tower killing your minions for you, which will inevitably happen.
You have to let them, kind of come back into that tower range. So it'll also increase his, his gold spooling. He'll be getting a little bit more farm as a result of that as well. Typically to sort of make up for some you're missing, but in solo lane you should have plenty anyway. But even more going his way as the taunt lands. White Noise takes only a little bit of poke, holds on to the beads, makes it back to the tower line just fine.
This is going to be an interesting matchup of these two solo laners. Not so much in lane, though. I am interested in how Nakamp plans to clear the waves consistently. I think that the mid to late game is where you're really going to see these. And which would you rather have in the late game? Would you rather have an Ares that's full build, or would you rather have a Geb that's full build? I've always been of the opinion that full build Geb is as good as it gets as a Guardian because he does so much damage in the base. And he brings that insane stone shield that I would much rather have a Geb joining my team fights. But that's because I'm biased and just want someone to save my life from my horrible positioning. Whereas Ares can't really do that. Nakamp is coming in to kill you in the mid to late game. And it'll be whoever does their job better of whether it's JhoX trying to protect his team or Nakamp trying to kill you.
And if he's able to succeed at that, if this Ares, rotates early or something, or the fight comes to him and he gets a bunch of kills, if I have an Ares from ahead, then it feels like there's not many other picks I want, right? If he's landing all his chains consistently and you guys can't get away from the no escape, yada, 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 it does feel good. But it's just such you have to execute so well to get to that stage. And when I feel like a lot of these warrior picks give you a lot more room to make errors.
I agree. I mean, there is great reward, but there is substantial risk. And it's not just in the risk of maybe it won't work, but maybe even if it does work, it's not what our team comp necessarily needs in this spot. The playing Ducks have plenty of damage with this team composition. I think a controlling good frontline Guardian or Warrior is really what the Doctor ordered, and instead they got a very aggressive, play up in your face sort of Guardian.
Krima does force TPC back. Looks like they want to be here for this red buff. Not going to make it in time, though, as SARPEII grabs it. Kino, the only one that dashes in. So the Susano will make it out quite safely. But already level 5 is Krima having an easy time farming it up on this Raijin. Elected not to finish off his stack at him yet. Just got grabbed the tier 2 boots on his back timing. We might have to wait on that. White Noise taking quite a bit of damage from the Viper shot.
Still willing to stand tall and not use the beads, and love the patience from him in that spot. Understanding how much damage he will take from full Viper shot, full acid spray. VeganFatness, I don't know if the minions got in the way where the damage wasn't quite as much as at least I was expecting. Maybe White Noise knew exactly how much and that was it, but felt like if VeganFatness could have gotten off an extra Viper shot or hit that lacerate, there could have been kill potential there.
And I do want to see, to move from the dual lane more to the jungle, some action here from PBE. We talked about it. SARPEII on the Susano, his early game is not that great, but Ravana's is excellent. He hits the ground running, and he's always ready to roll. He has the root early on. The Mystic Rush covers so much ground. He went Blink as well, so his gank potential is very high. PBE needs to, put some work in.
Ult onto Kino. This could be first blood here potentially.
Oh, yeah.
For the playing Ducks. Great body block there by Ray, and my block, my kill. That's first blood for the support.
And White Noise really does a good job following up on that, but that really was kind of all Ray. Ray's one that lands Stygian Torment, blocks the dash coming out from the Athena as well. The Cerberus support, man, it's working. It's a good pick. I just kind of thought it was going to be Ares over there, if I'm being honest.
As did I, but I was about to say, could Ares have done that? But yeah, if you're level 5 and they aren't, then no escape gets you that kill.
Yes, it does do the same thing, yes. But over here, OhMyJhox, man, can't roll. Well, now he can. But for a moment, he couldn't.
Even if he wanted to. Which he didn't. But if he did, he couldn't have.
No chance. As it looks like the invade's coming out from SARPEII, trying to chip away from this blue buff from the Geb. Everyone knows Geb useless without the blue buff. Mana reliant over here in the solo lane. Chains coming out. This could pull him in. Cataclysm is a great response, but SARPEII's waiting on exactly that. Baits out the shield, baits out the ult, and SARPEII finds an easy kill onto the Geb.
Yet another kill set up by the Ares solo that Cerberus definitely... What was that production? Oh, that Cerberus could have done that? Oh. Well, Ares did it anyways, you know?
That's right.
And now Ares solo is a little bit ahead.
We're giving it a hard time, but so far, those two picks have worked. They've done exactly what they were supposed to do. Now, have they done something they couldn't have done otherwise is kind of the question when you make this decision, right? No, but it's worked out for them.
This is the argument that I always have with FDOT, and that's, can insert pick in this role here work?
Yes.
Yes, it can. Poseidon jungle can work. You can clear the jungle and gank the enemy lanes. But why? Like, what are you gaining from this is the idea, right? And so in this spot, what are you gaining from putting Ares solo instead of the Cerberus? The idea is you're gaining kill potential. You're gaining, not in lane, but in your rotation ability. If you rotate in with Ares and you're a level up on the enemy mid laner and you built Void Stone and Mystical Mail, you're going to 100-0 them with one chain rotation. And that's true, but I feel like Cerberus is almost as good. Not quite as good. There's definitely merit to saying that Ares brings more damage when ahead than Cerberus does. As White Noise barrel stuffs himself on the Petrify and nearly gets killed for it. What's the difference between these Ares and these Cerberus picks? And
he doesn't deserve to live there.
No, he doesn't. And he might not, because PvE is hunting, though he'll give up the chase. Cerberus is more consistent, safer Ares in lane, and that's why I don't think the pick is very good. To put a bow.
Sure, and I'm right there with you. And that's sort of the overall point, right? It can't. We're certainly not saying that this could ever work or anything like that at all, but just, you know, is it really better?
You've got to show me your work.
Yeah.
You know? You've got to show me the work on how you got to thinking this is the best.
They're about to punish this Geb again, though. Chains means no rollout. Cataclysm is available, but PBE is here for the dunk. No escape. Should land some pulls, and indeed it will. They find the first kill on the Jhox, but what about PBE, who's here for the response? Ravana has nothing left in the tank, and the gank works.
Jhox a little bit too focused on Nakamp there. If he threw that shockwave out at SARPEII instead, right in time for that root ult combo from PvE, that might have been enough to bring down SARPEII, which would have ultimately saved OhMyJhox potentially, but ends up being a little bit too chaotic over there in that solo lane, and solo Ares getting ahead, which is what you have to do with this pick.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that needs to be done, and I'm looking forward to when we start seeing the comp start to have some of these rotations, because that's when it could look particularly strong. Now, Krima does have beads, does have the ultimate as well, the Taiko drum, same for VeganFatness, beads, and the ultimate, but it's really just the overhead kick that PBE is going to be relying on, I feel like, right? And if Jhox is involved, they can bait out the Cataclysm as they've been able to do successfully. There's a chance there as well. This Ares could have some impact. Definitely could. And once you get the Void Stone, like I said, maybe a Mystical Mail next. It's expensive, but you become an assassin, basically, at that point. And if Imnsonia aren't able to focus you out, then it'll be tough to stop you. SARPEII backs up once Defender of Olympus comes through from Kino, it would appear. No longer liking his chances, even with Darkest of Nights, they're committed from White Noise. And that does allow VeganFatness to get out of there, and even allows Kino to get into the lane quite quickly. Looks like Petrify had to be expended as well, but KS Ray looking for some ults in mid lane, forces the beads out to Prima. Too late on the ultimate, SARPEII finds PBE, and the 4th kill now for playing Dust. SARPEII has played very, very well so far on this Susano. You know, we're, again, having a bit of fun about this Ares, and that might kill OhMyJhox, who mistimes the Cataclysm and gets pulled because of it. That's one way you can die. is if you mistime the abilities. Now Gold Fury is on the table for playing Duck. VeganFatness is poked out and can't come to this. TPC and KSRAI are the ones taking it for now. Now White Noise is here to join. Kino doesn't want to let him come grab this one for free, but Typhoon being charged for the confirm. Playing Ducks grab it and get the kill onto the Athena to boot.
SARPEII, though, in some trouble, rooted, but Krima can't quite find the shot to detonate that Raijin. Now VeganFatness goes down, blink forward from PBE, and Mystic Rush puts him in a good spot to kill White Noise. He'll get that one, and one more here on the KSRAI, potentially. The jukes won't shake him too much, but TPC was able to find the finishing blow onto Krima.
But now here comes that solo Ares. Chain lands, but the Geb shield a little bit too strong coming out from OhMyJhox. That does get him out of there, so the Ares won't be able to find that kill or much impact there. But the Gold Fury going the way of playing Ducks. So far, it's coming up all shades.
That was close. That was definitely close there on that Gold Fury. For playing Ducks to commit to that in that spot, it shows some confidence. And it isn't the same sort of style as what we saw from the last game from Imnsonia, where even if we lose Gold Fury in the spot, we win the fight so heavily afterwards. The fight still went in playing Ducks' favor, but not overwhelmingly.
Right.
But it ends up working out. Sometimes you gotta, you gotta spend money to make money, they say. And not that I would know, but in this sense, the Gold Fury works out in that spot.
Gotta shoot your shot, and this time, playing Ducks, it swishes right on in. That's the J.R. Smith when he's feeling it, I guess, in that situation. It works in their favor.
You feel that? You hate it that much, huh? To equate it to J.R. Smith? See, I know that. I know what that means.
It definitely was a shot I didn't expect to go in.
Sure. That is J.R. Smith in a nutshell.
Right. But sometimes it does, man, and you're happy when it does. Is the comp continuing to trade it out here with the Geb, hitting for 37.
Interrupt me. You can't. Ares solo. Nothing you can do.
Cooking the minions there on the solo side as well. But again, it's this 1v1's not that important, right? We're not too worried about how the comp's going to do here in this match. It's when he's making these rotations, and so far we haven't seen much there. They've been curiously bringing the fight to him a lot on the side of Imnsonia. SARPEII's done a great job of doing it in playing Duck's favor, but Imnsonia been willing to take the battle over there with the Ares, which I wasn't expecting.
I agree. I think that I would have liked to have seen Kino use that ultimate more consistently to make sure that Jock stays up and healthy in these ganks. Haven't really seen that a whole lot quite yet. But SARPEII has done what you need to do, which is put Ares solo ahead. It's the reason we don't see it is because it's very, very hard to do, is put Ares solo ahead. But when it works, man, it works.
SARPEII's here again. They are trying to punish this Geb. Cataclysm better timed this time. There's the defender of Olympus, and they should give up on this one. They let the Geb live. That's what they wanted.
They got it. They got the Geb out of danger, at least for the moment, though. With Kino dashing away, I wonder if that could be a reinitiation. All it takes is a blink wind siphon from SARPEII to set up a guaranteed chain CC, literally. And then Typhoon probably brings him down. Jox has no physical defense right now because the Void just has the Void Stone.
That's right. He's building just up against this Ares, and he kind of has to. It's been a lot of damage that's been coming out from him so far, and that's possibly why we've seen SARPEII spend so much attention here. And it's worked for him so far. He's had good gank potential here up against this Geb. On the other hand, VeganFatness has not been under much duress. But it's been fine. White Noise has come out on top of that fight. So, I mean, I've answered my own one. There is PBE looking for something, but the comp smelled that one a mile away.
Can't find that gank. There is a ward right there.
Yeah.
Bottom side entrance, and PBE stepped on it, I believe. So has to accept that he won't get that kill.
Paralyzing spit off the mark. Krima will make it right on out of there. Electing to go at not the stacking route this time is TPC, as opposed to Krima, who does have the Book of Thoth, giving him a nice big power bank, but Bancross has plenty of power in its own right. PBE takes some rain fires right to the face. Good poke coming out from TPC.
Love TPC's patience against characters like Ravana that have an immune in their kit. It's best to hold on to that Noxious Fumes. He uses the 2 that forces overhead kick from PBE and then guarantees the bomb stun after that. Patience with your Noxious Fumes is what really sets apart good Agni players from great Agni players. And that was an impressive display from TPC, even if it's just a little thing like getting your opposition poked out.
It really is one of the most important cooldowns on this team even that Noxious Fume getting the most out of the stun, as Kino just gets removed by SARPEII, who catches him out. I suppose it's just the Stone of Binding. There's not much protection there. Now it's KS Ray looking for Krima. TPC shuts him down. Not even going to get the Thunder Crash off. 2 quick kills for the Ducks.
That Darkest of Nights makes that Taiko drums a little bit less appetizing in that spot, as this time White Noise times Rising Jaguar beautifully to give himself CC immunity in the face of that Petrify, as is a good time to get a pick. Playing Ducks are right around the Gold Fury as it spawns.
They've already got it pulled and already have it down below 3/4 HP. OhMyJhox, though, wants to go in. Defender of Olympus is channeled, but they're going to get pulled. Cataclysm to immune it, but he forces them to reset the objective. But now he has no cooldowns available. He has to slowly walk away like the bundle of rocks that he is. White Noise can't find any more damage, and Imnsonia have to leave.
That was close there for Jox. It would have been better for him to let himself get pulled and not find himself in the middle of the enemy team, as PBE gets soloed out by SARPEII.
And now Kino is in some trouble as well, sticking around too long from Imnsonia, which we haven't seen from them so far. A bit disjointed in this defense, and Playing Ducks now about to grab their second Gold Fury to put themselves even a little further out in front. Looking comfortable here in Game 2. A 6,500 gold lead, almost 6,000 experience as well.
This is a huge turnaround from Game 1, and it just feels like Playing Ducks kind of rope-a-doped Insomnia into this unique play style of, you don't really, this isn't your traditional play the Smite game, you know, this is competitive play sort of thing. And this is a real, legitimate strategy that teams should use. And that's that if a team isn't used to playing up against your weird stuff, and they can only, they play vanilla Smite and all that kind of stuff, which isn't a knock, I don't think, on Insomnia at all. Vanilla is the best ice cream flavor, but there's a lot that can go into getting ready to play against these sorts of weird picks, and if you aren't going to be comfortable against it, then that's a way to steal away some victories, and Playing Ducks do the right thing, try and get them involved in their style of game.
Cataclysm does immune the pull, but does not save him from SARPEII, who just rinse and repeats this Geb gank. Now it's PBE who's in a little bit of trouble. Typhoon is charged, overhead kick perfectly timed to allow him to immune that damage, and PBE will survive. Thinking of going in even further is now Krima's in some trouble. Came over just to help and gets punished.
No good deed goes unpunished for Krima, as he has had a tough game this time around on the Raijin, whereas TPC looks great again on this Agni. We saw good things from TPC, I think, in Week 1. Definitely a standout player for Playing Ducks whenever they are playing well as the Playing Ducks when they're playing Smite.
Playing Ducks only play well, by the way, as Kino unable to defend that Pyromancer. Playing Ducks grab it. What?
Wasn't their best Game 1.
That's true.
Looking much better here in Game 2, though.
Yes.
Here's
if you were to compare them, let's say it's binary, as I like things to be,
yes,
I would give this one the yes and Game 1 the no.
I would agree with that assessment.
Some trouble for PBE, though, underneath the Tier 1 tower. More than trouble. White Noise sends him all the way back to base. Monochrome will be how he views the game for a little while. Tier 1 tower in some trouble. VeganFatness just kind of walks in. This was very curious, and White Noise is right there to punish.
They're either dead or they're alive, and right now 2 members of Insomnia are dead. And you're either playing the game in color or it's black and white.
Yeah.
And right now 2 of them are in black and white. I'm just trying to make you happy here, Fitch.
You know, that's my thing. Surrender vote being considered at least. And I think Insomnia might have the right idea. Even if it doesn't go through, this one feels as though it's been pulled a little bit away from them, right? Like, it's tough. I don't think there's anything wrong in a best of 3, but kind of just saying wash it. They're not gonna Ares solo us again, right? And if they do, it ain't working.
Yes, you would hope that you'd be a little bit more prepared this time around. This is kind of, you open the door for something like this when you pick something low pressure like Geb in the solo lane, and if one of them gets ahead, then the other feels really, really useless.
To be fair, they picked pressure where they thought the Ares would be with a Medusa Athena.
True.
So I suppose they did it right. But yes, you're right. The flexibility hurt them.
Typhoon charged up. Good shield on time from Jox, but still not enough. It's still going down as Jox has to use Cataclysm to keep himself from getting pulled.
That's really all that cooldown has done. Instead of all the text that describes how the stun works and how it does its damage, it's just say gets you out of no escape, because that's all he's been able to use it for, at least this game so far on the side of OhMyJhox.
I don't think that would be a very helpful toolkit.
Gets you out of no escape.
Yeah, that's not a very good tooltip. I think it leaves a little bit to be desired. Like, how much damage does it do while I'm getting out of no escape?
I mean, has he used it for that case yet?
It's done some damage sometimes.
It's mostly been to get him out of no escape so far, as Nakampf still being the frontline presence for the rest of the squad. He does have TPC on his way. White Noise put in some good shots. Tycho drums to deter, but White Noise seems undeterred. They pull JhoX in, and White Noise is right there with the branching bolus.
SARPEII finds VeganFatness all by himself on the left-hand side as well. Playing Ducks, kind of playing with their food at this point. 20-2. It's not even close right now between these two teams. It's a 10K lead. Experience is ugly as well. This has been commanding thus far.
PBE, though, is here with Kino to defend this Fire Giant full, at least for now. Chains laying onto the Athena. Nothing left, though, to be used for an ability and really nowhere for Kino to go. Now it's PBE looking to at least find one pick onto the tasty TPC target, but Dash does not avoid the damage of Mystic Rush, but at least allows him to reposition, and SARPEII will find the kill.
SARPEII 9-0-6 so
Pretty
far.
good.
And look at that. Nakampf, top damage in the game with the Ares solo.
Step to my mans again.
If and Krima might just be dead. Okay, no, he's out. If all three chains land, Krima is dead in this spot.
Still? Oh.
No, he's got Geb Shield and can just jump away as soon as he gets stunned, so not too bad as playing Ducks do end up getting Fire Giant. And look, we had a lot of fun at the Ares solo expense. If you get to this point, you have already won.
Right.
Like you should win the game by now. But if you're not by now, but if you've gotten to this point in this position, you have all but won the game with Ares solo. It's that getting to this point is the hard part that doesn't happen very often.
It's worked out for them here in their favor. And you highlighted it already, but what playing Ducks have done here is they've gotten Imnsonia to sort of play with them down in the mud, right? They've gotten them to play a way that they really didn't draft to play. VeganFatness gave it up, but with the Geb Shield there, they should hold it. But now KS Ray is here. Imnsonia are able to grab the Gold Fury, but can they win off the back of it? Krima does have to Thunder Crash away, but this certainly could be a messy fight.
SARPEII forces out Tycho drums. He's going to keep this chase going. Krima is absolutely dead. SARPEII, the nice little 360 Storm Kata gets that one. JhoX falls to White Noise. Is playing Ducks now get their pick of the litter.
5v3 in their favor. This tier 2 tower is not long for this world, Ryan. No one here to defend. And it was such a nice tower, too, and they're bringing it down. Too bad. They didn't like it much anyway. Going to go for the tier 2 tower over on the right-hand side of the map as well. No buffs
I feel like
to
you
invade.
should be going for Phoenix here. Yeah, no reason
They
to go
are going
for
to
a
come
tower.
back, yeah.
Good call to come back and blink forward. VeganFatness is just dead. He insta-died to that damage. Now no escape is going to pull Kino back in. He's dead too. P-Bay now the only one up, and White Noise trying to remedy that.
He's going to chase him down. Beads come out to try and let him get away from any slows, but SARPEII cares not for your beads. Deicide in favor of the playing Ducks. Krima respawns just in time to, I assume, watch the misery unfold. He does have OhMyJhox right here with him, but now with Thorns ticking, the Ares, Chains ticking as well. Does get Shockwave and deleted. JhoX getting a little bit of late game revenge, but SARPEII godlike as he finds his 13th kill in a row. This Titan should come down in favor of playing Ducks.
Now, everyone's going to talk about the Ares solo and how it did almost top damage, only died to the Titan, all this kind of stuff, but really, this game was won by SARPEII.
Yes.
It's not just a 13-0-7, it's that he was the one consistently going over to solo lane and punishing the Geb solo. That's where this win came from. It set up this Ares solo for success. SARPEII is the one who really carried the bulk of the load.
Yeah, and I like to think that if, SARPEII is going to be in solo lane that many times up against a low-pressure Geb, Kakulin, Hercules, Cerberus, anyone Bologna could have done essentially the same amount of follow-up and punish that Geb just the same way. I'm right there with you. SARPEII's name was all over this game.
He played very well, but playing Ducks as a whole played a lot better. Now, they still seem a little bit scattered at times with the calls and their team fights and that kind of stuff, but if they can get a lead like this, they seem like a very difficult team to beat, because teams that thrive in this sort of chaos, that are used to playing in these crazy breakneck games where everything is going weird and you got to keep up really quickly, they seem to really excel at those. So if they can get a lead, then they're going to be really tough to beat. but they have to get to the point where they're getting leads consistently still.
And this is the next step for, I feel like, is to be able to get better in these kind of games, to put the brakes on and sort of right the ship, right?
Yes.
If someone comes in and makes the room all messy, you have to be able to organize it in the middle of the game and get back to playing your style of game. It looks like this time they just couldn't get things back the way they should have been.
And that's where having a consistent voice in your comms would be like, hey, that game was weird. We're not going to get beat by Ares solo again. Let's just keep up and be okay. We dominated them game 1. Let's try and do it again in game 3.
See if they can get back to that. And we'll be able to get right back with y'all here in just a moment. We're going to take a quick break, get everything ready for that third game. We'll be right back with you and find out who ends up winning.